You make the old man sound.
Oh, idiot.
Welcome to another episode of the Dabao Show, and today we are just going to do a simple review of the 2 seasons that we have shot. We did one for season 1, but we didn't have time to do one for season 2, so now here we are doing a combination for both season 2 and 3. Obviously, having a favorite moment doesn't mean like the rest of the guests are inferior or whatever, right? We gotta put it out there.
What a professional disclaimer.
Just gotta put it out there. I really enjoyed the Bad Habits shoot, mainly down to because we got to have a very nice moment with Eddie, just sharing about the pizza techniques, and obviously it was not a pizza episode, that's why we didn't really go into the things that Eddie was sharing with us, but it was quite insightful. I really liked the vibe as well. I thought that it was very reminiscent of my time studying in the States. The way they designed it, which really kudos to them and Retro Colony as well, because they managed to pull off what the ideology of their inspiration from the States were.
I think season 2 was relatively interesting. I think with this days off concept, like we get to really catch our guests on the off day, and sometimes we do different things with different guests, getting to see different stuff. So like for Leon's episode, we had our football game.
Oh yes.
Prior to the actual filming. So it was actually quite tiring. For NG's one, we explored Orchard on a weekday. Season 3, Asmin with a new shop space. I think it's also quite cool that we get to film in a place that is not completely done, and then we see the before and after. You know, we were in there before the shop was fully opened.
When we were going through the edit, you were saying also like the half-done shop really adds a lot of character to the whole shop as well.
Yeah, when the shop is like still very raw and bleak, you know, like sometimes we don't really know how it's going to transpire. Obviously, we followed up coming in to see the shop, you know, and it looks amazing. And Melvin's episode also,
him bringing us around Little India and then eating his childhood food.
Represent the Chinese community because we don't really eat that.
Another one to throw out there is also went to KL to find Andrea. Obviously that didn't work out because of her busy schedule, but we were very, very lucky to catch Andrea on the fly as well. I mean, people who know her, it's impossible to catch her. We did, yeah.
Thank God. Thank you, Andrea.
Thank you, Andrea. How have we improved personally? You want to give a take? Do you think you improved as a presenter?
No. Still talking shit on the fly thing. I think Cash got his hands to interview and then fumbled.
I did not include in Asmin's episode, but the reason why I did more of Asmin's episode was because it was really more in my field of work. So it was a conscious decision for me to take some of the questions, but yeah, I learned the hard way, man. Like, I mean, I used to push BK a lot. We will do an outtakes video at the end of the year, right? Just to show how many times we fumbled. But you'll see also many times where I'll be like, bro, what are you doing? Can you just ask the freaking question a lot? And then when I'm put on the spot, right? Wow, it's not as simple. But yeah, it's really an experience. I am learning from it. I also learned to understand what BK faces sometimes.
I get my hands on the camera, but still fail. the vlog for Leon's one, I was like, I don't even know what I was doing. I was like, yeah, I'm going to try this.
Obviously, we had some help with Asmin's episode. Shout out to Dennis. We have friends shooting in KL as well for when I was there. So really appreciate the help.
As a whole, the Dabao show, I mean, this might be a biased opinion, but I think we have upped our game a bit. Considering that, you know, this is still a passion project. We're not paid and everything. I think please like and subscribe. But no, back to it is just that I think we learn a lot, we upped our game, but there's also a certain threshold when it's just like 2 of us. Cash is doing most of the editing work, all the filming. I'm just there talking shit, just help with a bit of planning, but most of it is on him. So there's still a limit that how much we can do as well in terms of quality and quantity even.
Yeah.
From the day that we film and from the day that we edit and from the day that we release, at least I think there's 3 times that we go through this, and you pick up nuances and things that you think how it applies on your life, gives you a takeaway, which I guess is the identity of the show, the Dabao show, for us to actually have a takeaway on each episode. And sometimes, you know, hopefully for most people who watch this, there is a takeaway for everyone, whether good or bad. But we didn't plan this channel to be like some inspiration. It's just about sharing thoughts, for the small players, or we are lucky to have friends in these industries and stuff like that. So like we're lucky to have them on the channel so that we can share the experiences that probably SMEs and business or even people who are involved in the scene, how they feel about it.
I think we learn how to craft these stories better in terms of the questions, in terms of planning the episode. I mean, we already mentioned before, the BK does not have any media training at all, any kind of like production sort of like background. So we are learning this as we move along, right? I myself, as much as I'm in this field, I've not really guided someone to make this happen. A lot of this is all BK just picking up on his own and trying his best. The episodes are getting longer, right? But it's more because we are finding, I wouldn't say better guests, right? I would say anyone from season 1 or anyone from season 3, they're all equal in terms of their stories, their personality. But I think we just decided to be more daring and include a lot more of these like content, like make it fatter, because these people are so interesting, they have so much to share. Like even I was telling BK, right, some of the guests, I felt doing them a bit dirty that we couldn't include more of their story, more of their experiences and their great learning points that they can share into the episode. But now we decided to go for like half an hour episodes and things like that. I don't know if you guys enjoy it that much, but at least for us, we feel that that's the fairest we can give to the guests who sacrifice half a day or a couple hours of their day to film with us. The best we can give them is something that is fair to them.
The lighting affected, I realized just now.
No, I don't know. I think we just need to address it.
Hey.
We say it, it gets brighter.
Here we go. Sorry, we're dealing with a cloudy weather today, so just nice as we were talking about all these struggles and difficulties, I think we covered a bit of it. There's definitely a lot more on our end when it comes down to time, scheduling, or even like working, or even pulling one day out of our own personal schedules to do all these kind of filming. I mean, of course, if this is our full-time job, then it's a different thing, but we all have our own things to do. So definitely we do encounter struggles. I think we have small little nuances struggles, like this amazing weather today that is constantly messing our lighting. We have drilling going on, it's affecting our sound. So like for people who think like these kind of things are like easy to do, just get a camera and just go around. It is. But like when it comes down to the editing work and stuff like that, there's a lot to think about. And I think sometimes like even before like I pitch something to Cash, like I think like there's all these things like running through my head already. It's like, oh bro, we go this place, it's gonna be noisy, crowded. Bro, the weather, sometimes we film in the sun and we're like, the heat just gets to you straight, and you lose your energy double the time, and your battery burns faster. So that's another pro tip. So
I mean, this is not days off, but you remember Smiles My Fair, right?
Right, I don't know how we managed to do it all in one shot, but like,
every 15 minutes, like, hey, bro, the camera is heating. I cannot really. We need to cut. And the worst part was during the interview, like halfway, we have to interrupt the guest and say, "We are so sorry. We need to go and let the camera rest for a bit." Which sounds ridiculous, right? But the thing is, that happens. And yeah, I mean, if people don't know about it, it's like, huh? Camera can overheat. But I mean, coming back to this, right? Season 3 was kind of a production nightmare in terms of like, at least 2 we did reshoots, right? I mean, down to some of it were my mistakes, some is like we don't know what happened, some of it were like equipment, just like cocking up and glitching and things like that. It was really tough, man, because we have to get the guests back, we have to waste a bit more of their time. I mean, a lot of them are so lovely, right? They're very gracious with their time. It's like, yeah, it's fine, it's okay. Like, but it's also a learning point for us, because as we scale up, as we want to do bigger things, you know, eventually when we earn money, we want to put the money back into this whole, what we call it, company. Which sounds very
corporate.
shitty. Yeah, very corporate. But eventually we have to do all that, right? So these are things we have to learn. We have to learn how to mitigate and avoid. So it's really a big struggle for us. So speaking of scaling up, we also are thinking of new content to do, because as much as Days Off is our flagship content, in a way we will always try and do Days Off. It's kind of like a baby, right? But we want to expand a bit more with the things that we can do, the things we want to do, and maybe really go into more of the food side of things, because now we talk about a lot about the business or like exposure or whatever it may be. However, there are things that we will not do, but we do have reasons for it. What are the things that we will not touch?
we will not do reviews and recipe videos, mainly because I guess a lot of people are doing it. Not to say that we may never do it in the future, but it will be good if you guys can share with us your thoughts and hopefully help us improve in our future.
Yeah, if we are to do any kind of like food eating videos, I think we want to do it a different way. It's not to go down there and say, hey, this is an 8 out of 10 or whatever. I think it's more like one of the things that we really took inspiration from was when Angelo brought us to eat the chicken rice. There was a very lovely backstory to it, and I think if we were to do like food eating shows, it would probably be along that line where we can share a bit of either the person's story or like the restaurant story, the establishment story, or even a history of the dish itself. So we don't want to just taste it and give our thoughts and then just bail, you know. We want to make something a bit more educational in that sense.
Yeah, I guess this is not a rant episode, but we're just here to share our updates. If you like, please do give us like and subscribe. Every support helps. Do let us know what you think, give feedback. Hey man, that's all we can ask for. Doesn't take much to press. Is it the button here? There's always a thing here.
Yeah, it's on the right. Yeah, it's on the, yeah. Pretty sure you don't do this shit, bro.
Press here.